So it's all those different thoughts that come through. So that's what I mean by real event experience, not just coming in and going, I've written some stuff down. I've got an idea. Yeah.
On your first point, you see there's few jobs and lots of applicants. Now, because it's sporadic work, I think I said that word right. How do you stay relevant enough with so much competition for events in New Zealand?
How it works generally within the scene is your degree will get you the interview. Your experience will get you the job. Without the degree, you will not get the interview, regardless of your experience, unless you've held like higher up event management positions. So generally, that's been my experience with it. In terms of staying relevant, you just got to keep working in the same field. So a lot of the time you'll hear you just get a job anywhere, and then get the job you want, which is really great for surviving and earning money. But try and get a job within the industry that you're working, because every little bit helps. Also, the majority of jobs I've got, if we look at the 4 jobs that I've had since graduating, I applied for WaterSafe Auckland and I got it. I also applied for about 20 others. The thing that got me that job was that I was going off to canoe the Wanganui River in 3 weeks' time, and I made a joke in my cover letter about it'll be really handy because I'm off to do this. And that's what they said, oh, when are you off to go and do that? It was a point of difference. So, and that works with my personality because I'm a bit cheeky and I like to have a bit of a laugh. So it kind of, with the applying for jobs sucks. It doesn't matter how much you do it, it is awful. Cover letters. I had a 8-minute comedy piece on cover letters because I hated them so much. Like, what a waste of time. And then you get into the interview and they're all like, so why do you want this job? Well, because I need a job, dick. It's like, oh, it frustrates the hell out of me. What was I talking about? Yeah, so staying relevant is kind of just get experience. And straight out of uni when you graduate, you want to have some of that experience under your belt. You want to say, if you're applying for an event coordinator position at council, they'll say, all right, well, give us some examples of events that you've worked where, shit's hit the fan and you had to step up and fix it. Find those examples. If you don't have them, don't make them up because they'll know, but stretch the truth on something that is similar. That'll help. So it really is get some experience before you go out into the workforce. And there's plenty of different options. You've got your internship at the end of when you graduate. Get some experience before then, because the internship, some of us had great internships, some of us had terrible internships. I got trapped away at a company in the city and sat there for 10 hours a week doing search engine optimization on videos. That was all I did. I got promised the world. I got given nothing. I walked in for my very first day working there. Nobody in the entire office had any idea who the hell I was or why I was there, because the CEO was in Australia. So, for me, my internship didn't give me any industry experience. It gave me some really good personal development, I'm going to call it that, but that is not where you're going to get your experience from. That is some experience. All experiences that you have, whether within events, whether within life, whether travelling experience, all help you to be a better person and a better event organiser, if that's what you're doing. Because you can call on all the times where, say if you're travelling through, I'll give you my example. I was crossing the border between Iran and Turkey. Just as we were getting to the border, crossing into Turkey, the computer systems went down. It was outside, it was snowing, it was us and about 100 other people, and we were trapped out there for 5.5 hours. It was absolutely freezing. We had elderly people who were, falling over and families passing blankets over the front. What do you do? It's exactly the same in an event site. Shit hits the fan. What do? Think on your feet. Figure it out. We went and buddied up to one of the security guys and he took us in his little booth, found out that we were Kiwis, just quizzed us the whole time in front of a heater and Turkish tea. It was amazing. But it's figuring it out, and that's what you've got to do in this industry. If you're a person who can't figure it out, you're going to struggle. Doesn't matter whether you choose to write how did I put it? I think I wrote it down here. No, I didn't. It was on the other one as well. what was it? If you make a logical call based on sound reasoning, which is wrong, that is better than not making a call at all. Do you understand that? Because what happens is your manager will be like, what the hell did you do that for? And you'd say, based on this, this and this, and thinking about this, this and this, I made this call. And then they'll say, okay, can understand why you made that call, but you could have made it in this direction. And that's when you start to learn having those conversations. Yes, the industry's littered with short-term contract roles. Don't be afraid of these. These are great opportunities for you to get into the industry. And they're always looking for grads. What they normally are is maternity leave. So that means that they've got somebody who they're already paying for 9 months while they're on maternity leave, or 4 months while they're on maternity leave. And they can bring you in and pay you 40k. They're actually saving money by doing this. You're saving the company's ass. They're able to pay a smaller amount of money than they're already paying for their person on maternity leave, and it's a really good deal for both of you. So don't be afraid of those short-term contracts. The other really important thing is understanding what a contractor is. Has anyone here been a contractor? Yeah? How did you feel about it?
Well, I think it's quite good because you can work the terms and conditions for yourself, like
Yes.
contractor.
Yeah.
Works in your favour.
What are the downsides?
That you're on your own. Like, there's no support system.
So essentially how a contractor works is you are not a full-time employee. You're contracted for so many hours and you can't exceed those hours. The other side of it is you don't get sick leave, you don't get annual leave, and you only get paid for the hours you work. Contracts are all different. What it also means that once your contract is finished, you're out of a job, unless they choose to extend it. But the great thing about contracting is generally contractor rates are high. So you can negotiate your rates. So they'll come back and say, yeah, we'll pay you 42k. And you'll be like, how about 46? And more than likely you'll get it. Just don't aim too high. You can also claim back all of your expenses. This is going more into the accounting side, but it's good to understand that. As a contractor, travel, food, all of these expenses can be claimed back. If you need to go and buy some new shoes because you've destroyed the old ones and you're going to use them at work, well, that's an expense you can claim back. If you're out on site and you've got to eat breakfast, lunch and dinner there, those are all expenses you can claim back. So hold on to those receipts, start making a record. All of your travel to and from work, you can claim those back. You take the bus or the train, you can claim those back. So that's a good way to just bring in a little bit of money, but you've got to get on top of it early, otherwise it gets really, really hard to chase up. I'm still chasing someone right now from earlier in the year. It's not fun, but you know, it's free money essentially. It's stuff that you would already purchase and already buy, but you're getting that GST back. What have I learned on the job? How are we feeling? You good? Still energized? How many classes have you got left today? Nothing. It's Monday. Oh, it's easy.
Oh, some of them do till 8 o'clock.
Oh, really? Who are those poor people? They're a hard class to consistently go to, eh? I feel for you. So what have I learned on the job? Don't go into a new job thinking you know everything. You know nothing. Learn from everyone. What does this mean? This means, and I've worked with people like this who have come in and done contractor roles working alongside me, and they come in and go, yeah, I know, yeah, we do it this way and do it this way, on the first day. No. On the first day, on the first week, on the first 4 weeks, shut the hell up and learn from other people. They might be doing it wrong, but you're the new guy. You're the newbie. Nobody wants to hear you tell other people that it's better, even if it is better. So choose your time and choose the person that you approach if you've got other ideas, and do it one-on-one, for God's sake. Don't do it in a meeting. You just, and that's just because you're the new guy. That's all it is. They've been in the company 10 years, they know better than you. That's the attitude. And so it's just something to remember, to kind of, you know, be friendly. Don't be too friendly, especially in those first couple of weeks. Be prepared to be thrown in the deep end, head first, without warning. that's just what happens, and that's what I've been talking about earlier, just in regards to thinking on your feet, asking questions when you need to, and being interested. Go in there, especially within those first couple of weeks. They're not fun. You'll just be sitting around reading documents, but try and soak up everything you can so that when you do get thrown into it, you've got an understanding of what's going on. Also, I didn't write it on here, but it's really good, especially early on, to create those relationships with the people you work with. If they're all going out for Friday drinks, go with them. Even if you've got something on, go with them. Understand and get to know the people you're working with early on, because it makes it so much easier. It's exactly the same in being mates with your tutors. They won't break the rules, but they'll bend the rules. It'll be easier for you if something happens down the track, or you need help down the track. They'll be more interested in helping you. And it also just makes work a hell of a lot more fun. Just don't get really hammered. I did it once. Councillor B. I wasn't the only one, thank God. I don't drink anymore, by the way. I paid for that one literally 2 days of throwing up because I have an alcohol intolerance. I've already said that. Be honest. If you're struggling or overburdened, say so. You can't do everything. I learned this when I was working for Bravo. Because Bravo, I was working with guys, there were 3 people in our Auckland team and 2 people in our Wellington team, and literally amazing company with what they achieve, but they all take on too much. Like, it'd get to 5 o'clock in the day, and I'd look around, nobody's had a lunch break, nobody's had a break, and I'd kind of be like, oh, I might head off soon. And they'd look at you like, why? It's only 5 o'clock. Been there since 8. But that was their attitude, and that's what they did. And they'd work till 9, 10 o'clock every day. And so I kind of had to get used to that and roll into it. And I was lucky I was a contractor because I got paid for all of those hours. But yeah, they would just keep loading stuff on me. And I had to sit there and go, guys, I've got too much work. I can't do this. They had no idea. They were too busy with their heads in their own work. So they had no idea that I was struggling. I had to say something. Instead of sitting there thinking, I can do it, I can do everything. I can't do everything. I absolutely cannot do everything. And so that was some really great learning. I also had to have the conversation with them that that job wasn't for me, and that was why I left. Because they were much more focused on the production side of things, on the lighting, on the sound, on the real technical aspects of making an event work. I'm not interested in that. That's not me. That's not where my skills have to lie. And I could have still continued working on that, but I knew that for me wasn't a good fit, so I had to have that conversation. And that conversation is really not fun, not good to have. But you've got to do right for yourself and do what you want to do. So I'm just going to ask some questions here. Who wants to be a wedding planner? One wedding planner. You're going to hate brides and you're never going to get married yourself. Where do people want to work? Where do people want to sit when they finish up here? Yeah.
Somewhere probably in the music industry.
Yeah. So get in touch with Frontier Touring or somebody like that. Figure out who does all of their big events. Who else? Yeah.
Special effects, films, stuff like that. Editing and stuff like that, basically.
Choice. There's plenty of work going on in that industry at the moment. I've got a friend who works in it. And he's been steadily employed as a contractor for a number of years, so you're probably quite safe. What about other people?
Hotel?
In hotel?
Yeah.
There's plenty of conference and event work going in hotels at the moment. I see those being opened on Seek as jobs all the time. I don't apply for them because that's not for me. But there's conference event work, there's lots of. What about anyone else?
Like sports.
Sports?
Like Eden Park and
Cool.
something.
Yeah, that's like all of these industries, and Auckland is small, and New Zealand is small. You can find out who runs them. You can get in touch with them, and get in touch with them in the next 6 months and be like, hey, I'm studying event management. I'd love to get involved. Can I come in and volunteer and help you out? That's what it's creating, those connections and those people that you know. I was going to say before, but I got sidetracked. Classic me. How I got my jobs. Water Safe Auckland I applied for. Bravo, Lucy who came in here told me about it. Council, a lady called Leanne Roach. Do you know Leanne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Leanne Roach. She was in this, well, she's still studying actually. She's been doing it part-time for about 9 years. She'll never finish. Not that she's failing, but she just keeps having to delay it because of work. I knew her, there was an event, coordinator position opening. She messaged me and said, hey, get in touch, I think you'd be really great for this. So out of the main jobs that I've had, I didn't apply for them, they were people I knew. My friend Marika, I knew a contact for her, I gave it to her, I spoke to my friend who owns the company, and they said, yeah, okay, awesome, we'd love to talk to her. And now she works there. So the majority of getting jobs is who you know. And I wanted to believe that that wasn't true, but it bloody is. So yeah, be friends with everybody in all your classes, because you never know where somebody might end up. And they could be in a job which they love, but it's not the job that you love, but they might know of somebody who needs somebody just like you, and then they'll give you a call or send you a message. And that's, yeah, it makes it really easy, yeah.
Did you know like what kind of events you wanted to go to before you like chose? Because you also kind of like all over the show, really, aren't they? Like,
mine are everywhere. So mine, I didn't really have an idea of where I wanted to go, because I'd come into events from the music side of things. So I just wanted to get paid for what I was already doing. So my sights have changed a little bit. I'm planning on joining the Air Force as an officer, and I'm wanting to do that midway through next year.
Really?
Yep. I want to fly planes.
Oh.
That's just where I am right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it'd be fun.
You know that Jamie wants to go into the Navy?
Oh,
Jamie
really?
shows.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll get in touch.
Yeah.
But that's just, you know, I don't hate what I do. I'm just like, yeah, I need a new challenge. I've been doing events for a wee while now. But your skills are transferable. Don't ever forget that. Don't get